Here are the top 10 cheapest knives under $75 in CSGO right now. Obviously, guys, CSGO skin prices do vary, so when you look, they might not be the exact price that they are in this video. They should be around about the same price, so yeah. Also, another thing before we get into it, I'm going to be showing you guys the Steam price, but also the Skinport price, because unless you guys didn't know or aren't in the Discord, I did recently get affiliated with Skinport. So if you guys want to go and get skins at a discounted price, be sure to use my link down in the description and in the pinned comment, as it's completely free for you guys to use and really helps me out. But yeah, let's get into it. Starting in the number 10 position, we have the Shadow Daggers Boreal Forest in field tested, which on Steam go for $66.50.
Go shorty, it's your birthday.
However, over on Skinport, you can pick them up a bit cheaper for $59.92. And honestly, guys, Shadow Daggers aren't my favorite type of knife, but when we're looking for knives under $75, there's going to be a few Shadow Daggers, there's going to be Navaja knives, there's going to be maybe a Falchion knife, and maybe some other knives. But we're not going to be having Karambits, M9s, etc. But overall, I think the Boreal Forest is pretty clean, and yeah, that's why I got number 10. Moving on to the number 9 position, we have the first Navaja knife being the Navaja knife Vanilla, which is an alright knife. It's pretty clean. On Steam, you can pick it up for $65.94, but over on Skinport, you can save yourself $10 and pick it up for $54.12. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty clean. As I say, guys, it's pretty much a $50 knife. So yeah, I think for $54, the Navaja Vanilla is a very, very good knife. Moving on to the number 8 spot, we have the second pair of Shadow Daggers, being the Shadow Daggers Ultraviolet in Well Worn, and you can pick them up on Steam for $83.95. So these are actually one of the more expensive knives on this list. However, you can pick them up on Skinport for around $62.20, saving you a whopping $20.
Wow.
Now, obviously, these are a tiny bit scratched up, but yeah, I mean, they're well worn, guys, and to get cheap knives, you are going to have to look at the higher end of the wares. I think overall, though, I really like the color purple and the Shadow Daggers Ultraviolet. I mean, yeah, it's purple and black. Yeah, the colors look pretty nice, in my opinion, so yeah, that's why they get the number 8 position. Moving on to the number 7 spot, we have another Navaja knife, being the Navaja knife Ultraviolet. So, yep, again, guys, the Ultraviolet is returning, and this time, though, the skin is in field tested, so yeah, it's a tiny bit more clean, and obviously depending on how long you wait to try and find one, you could find a lower float field tested skin, which would be less scratched up than a higher float one. On Steam, you can pick this up for around about $68.85, and on Skinport, you can pick one up for around about $62.16. So just over $60. Again, not a massive fan of the Navaja knives, but the Ultraviolets do look cool, and yeah, this being field tested does look pretty clean. Moving on to the number 6 spot, we have the Shadow Daggers Blue Steel in Well Worn, and you can pick that up on Steam for about $70.46, or if you want to go over to Skinport, you can pick it up for $58.73. And personally, guys, I really like Blue Steel knives just in general. I think the Blue Steel finish looks really, really clean. I know I keep saying clean, but it just, I don't know, out of all of these skins, like Blue Steel is one of my favorite finishers. I've had Karambits that are Blue Steel, I've had Bayonets, M9s, like it just looks nice. So yeah, again, not a massive fan of the Shadow Daggers, but yeah, I really do like Blue Steel knives, so that's why this is on the list. Next up in the number 5 position, we have the Falchion knife Rust Coat in Battle Scarred, because honestly, guys, it's a Rust Coat knife. It doesn't matter what wear it's in, so Battle Scarred is the cheapest. However, on Steam, this is pretty much the joint most expensive knife at $90.10 on Steam, so yeah, I don't know why it's been so expensive, so yeah, that's weird. However, over on Skinport, again, guys, this is another knife that you can save pretty much $20 on and pick up for around $69.93. Personally, this isn't one of my favorite Rust Coat knives, but that's just because I've never been a huge fan of the Falchion knife. But considering how much money you can save if you're getting it from somewhere like Skinport, then, you know, for just under $70, I can't really argue with a Falchion knife Rust Coat, so that's why I got the number 5 spot. Moving on to the number 4 spot, we have the Survival Knife Safari Mesh in field tested, which you can pick up for around about $74.96. That's on Steam, by the way. However, you can save yourself just under $10 on Skinport and pick it up for around about $66.30. And I just wanted to include this, guys, because it was a survival knife, and it's one of the newer knives compared to other knives. And yeah, I just think it's cool having some of the newer knives, and this is actually the only survival knife that that fits into this price range. So yeah, if you really like the survival knife, then yeah, go for the Safari Mesh. You'll save yourself quite a bit of money, and yeah, it's pretty much the only way that you're going to get one under $75. Moving on to the top threes though, guys. In the third place, we have the Gut Knife Ultraviolet in field tested. So again, guys, the Ultraviolet making a return, and this time on the Gut Knife, which personally I kind of like. I like the animation when you get it out. And again, guys, this is in field tested, so remember, if you just wait long enough, you might be able to find someone selling one at a low float, which will be a lot cleaner than other knives. So yeah, that's worth doing. But on Steam, you'll be picking them up for around about $78.49, but over on Skinport, you'll get them for around about $63.22. Moving on to the number 2 spot, we have another pair of Shadow Daggers, being the Shadow Daggers Autotronic. This skin is in battle scarred, but honestly, with the Autotronics, guys, I don't know if you know, but it really doesn't matter what wear they're in. Obviously, the lower float, so for example, as factory new, the red on the Autotronics will look super bright compared to maybe a battle scarred one like this, but hey, I don't think it really matters. It still looks really, really clean, and yeah, overall, I really, really like it. And on Steam, you can pick that up for $87.12, and this is probably the craziest saving, guys, but on Skinport, you can pick one up for around about $61.89. So almost $30. I mean, it's probably closer to $25, but an insane saving right there using Skinport. So remember, guys, use my link. It's in the description or in the pinned comment. Go and try and find yourself a sick deal like this one. But yeah, overall, a really, really nice knife. Arguably could be in the number 1 spot. But yeah, now finally moving on to the first position, guys, we have the Navaja knife Crimson Web in field tested. Again, guys, field tested knives, get a lower float one, it'll look way cleaner. And on Steam, they go for around about $90.22. So again, not fitting in that $75 range. However, go over to Skinport and you can pick one up for around about $72.81. So yeah, boom, that's a really nice red knife. Again, just like the Autotronic, which could be in a low float field tested, which you can get for under $75, which personally for me, I really like the red knives in Counter-Strike. So yeah, this is a top pickup if you can find one that is a good float and the right price for you. Let me know if I've missed out any knives that you can think of in the comments. Oh, and also tell me any videos that you guys want to see. I'll probably continue this series, but if you haven't already seen my top 10 cheapest gloves under $60 video, then click the video on your screen right now.